The Old West was a time of lawless frontier towns, daring outlaws, and legendary figures whose stories shaped American history. While many tales have been documented, some of the most intriguing events remain unresolved, shrouded in mystery and speculation. Disappearances, unexplained deaths, unsolved robberies, and uncertain identities have left historians and researchers grasping for answers. Some cases involve figures at the center of the West's most infamous conflicts, while others stem from the era's violent struggles over power, money, and survival. With limited forensic methods and vast unpoliced territories, many of these mysteries were never solved. Decades later, they continue to capture public fascination, fueling books, films, and debates. These lingering questions remind us that the frontier was as unpredictable as it was dangerous, with some secrets lost to history. The Wham Paymaster Robbery. On May 11, 1889, the Wham Paymaster robbery took place in Arizona Territory, targeting a U.S. Army paymaster transporting over $28,000 in gold and silver coins. While a group of bandits ambushed the convoy, the identity of the actual culprits remains a point of debate. Despite a heated trial, local ranchers accused of the crime were acquitted due to scanty evidence and alleged bias against African American soldiers who testified. The stolen funds, considered a hefty sum for the era, were never recovered. This unsolved heist, overshadowed by more famous Old West robberies, marked one of the boldest attacks on government property in the region. Its significance lies in highlighting the tenuous nature of frontier justice and the challenges faced by law enforcement in remote territories. No resolution followed investigations. The Skeleton Canyon Massacre. In August 1881, a violent confrontation occurred in Skeleton Canyon, located between Arizona and New Mexico territories, resulting in deaths among Mexican smugglers transporting silver bullion. Precise details remain elusive, as accounts vary about who ambushed whom. Some historians assert that bandits targeted the smugglers, while others believe a rival faction orchestrated the attack to seize valuable cargo. Estimates suggest the silver haul was worth tens of thousands of dollars. Despite some bodies being recovered, the final death toll is uncertain. Law enforcement struggled to identify the perpetrators, hindered by scant evidence and the canyon's rugged isolation. Various suspects emerged but were never conclusively linked to the killings. The event underscores the volatility of cross-border trade and the minimal oversight that characterized frontier life, highlighting a persisting Old West enigma. The unknown fate of Pearl Hart. Pearl Hart, often called the Bandit Queen, gained notoriety in 1899 for robbing a stagecoach near Globe in the Arizona Territory. Unusual for a female outlaw, her crime captured national attention, and she was swiftly apprehended alongside an accomplice. Sentenced to prison in Yuma, she gained release under uncertain circumstances in 1902, then vanished from documented history. Rumors of her later life persist, but no definitive records confirm her activities or final resting place. Unlike many outlaws who met violent ends, Hart's ability to disappear remains an enduring puzzle of the Old West. Her story symbolizes the period's complicated intersection of lawlessness and sensational journalism in the region, highlighting how a single act could shape public perception. The exact fate of Pearl Hart remains one of the era's lesser-known mysteries. The disappearance of Etta Place. Etta Place, often associated with the Hole-in-the-Wall gang, entered the historical record alongside Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid during their time in South America. She first appeared in photographs around 1900 and shared an adventurous life on the run, yet details about her true identity and background remain elusive. Reports indicate she accompanied the outlaws to Argentina before leaving them under unknown circumstances. Despite attempts by Pinkerton detectives to track her, nothing concrete emerged, and her later years are a blank in public records. Some believe she returned to the United States, while others suspect she settled abroad. Her significance lies in representing the era's blurred lines between frontier freedom and fugitive existence. Her disappearance adds another unsolved thread to Old West history and continues to intrigue scholars today. The murder of Morgan Earp. Morgan Earp, brother to the famed lawman Wyatt Earp, was fatally shot on March 18, 1882, while playing billiards in Tombstone, Arizona Territory. Although his death was widely attributed to cowboy faction members who resented the Earp's law enforcement efforts, no individual was ever definitively convicted. Morgan's sudden demise followed the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral, heightening tensions between local outlaws and the Earp family. Despite suspicions focusing on specific enemies, scarce evidence and possible witness intimidation clouded the investigation. The murder sent shockwaves through Tombstone, prompting Wyatt's subsequent vendetta ride to seek extrajudicial retribution. Morgan Earp's killing remains an enduring mystery of frontier justice and legal accountability, still leaving many historians without a full resolution to this day. The death of John Ringo, often described as the King of the Cowboys, was found dead on July 14, 1882, near Turkey Creek Canyon, Arizona Territory. A bullet wound to his head suggested suicide or foul play, yet neither was proven. Some accused Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday, but no credible evidence emerged. Authorities discovered his body against a tree with his revolver suspended from a branch. Lack of witnesses and rudimentary forensic methods stalled the investigation. Ringo's demise mattered because he was a recognized figure in Tombstone's turbulent scene. Without conclusive findings, his death illustrates the murky nature of frontier violence. A central character in Arizona's lawless era, Ringo remains a symbol of lingering questions. His unresolved end underscores how even prominent lives could abruptly fade into Old West obscurity and legend. The murder of Belle Starr. Belle Starr, another well-known bandit queen of the Old West, was fatally shot on February 3, 1889, near her home along the Canadian River in Indian Territory, present-day Oklahoma. The assailant fired a shotgun from behind, ending Starr's life at age 41. Though suspicion fell on various individuals, including neighbors and disgruntled acquaintances, no one was ever brought to trial for her murder. Starr had ties to notable outlaws like Jesse James and the Younger Brothers, fueling public fascination. Her slaying underlined the broader hazards faced in rough frontier settlements, where grudges and open lawlessness often dangerously intertwined. Historians debate whether the killing stemmed from personal vendettas or financial disputes, but no definitive solution emerged. The unsolved nature of her death cements Starr's place among the lasting curiosities of Old West history. The murder of Pat Garrett. Pat Garrett, the lawman known for tracking down Billy the Kid, met his end on February 29, 1908, in Doña Ana County, New Mexico Territory. He was shot under circumstances that remain disputed, with suspects including rancher Wayne Brazel, who later confessed but was acquitted. Garrett's standing as a prominent figure, especially after being accredited for the killing of Billy the Kid in 1881, cast a long shadow over his own death. Conflicting accounts suggest a possible land dispute or political rivalry, leading to his ambush on a remote road. The official investigation, hampered by vague evidence and contradictory testimonies, left the case unresolved. His murder underscores the lethal combinations of power struggles and frontier justice. It remains a historical puzzle, keeping Pat Garrett's name interwoven with the tumultuous legacy of the Old West. Billy the Kid's true final fate. Billy the Kid, an outlaw whose real name was likely Henry McCarty, is said to have been killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett on July 14, 1881, at Fort Sumner in New Mexico Territory. However, questions arose almost immediately about whether Garrett had shot the correct individual, fueling uncertainties about the kid's ultimate fate. Official accounts declared him dead, yet a few alleged survivors emerged over the decades, claiming they were Billy the Kid. No definitive forensic proof ever confirmed or disproved these assertions. Even though historical consensus supports Garrett's version, the kid's legend persisted, raising doubts among some contemporaries and later researchers. The story underscores the fluid nature of frontier documentation. To this day, debate persists, cementing Billy the Kid's end as one of the Old West's most intriguing riddles. The unsure fate of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, leaders of the Wild Bunch Gang, remain central figures in Old West lore. Their alleged demise took place in Bolivia around November 1908, when Bolivian authorities reportedly engaged them in a shootout. Yet persistent questions about their true end have lingered. Official records suggest both men died at the scene, but the lack of formal identifications sparked theories they returned to the United States or lived under assumed identities elsewhere. Despite extensive research and various leads, no definitive proof has surfaced, leaving historians divided over their final moments. The pair's high-profile robberies and escapes made them internationally famous and legendary, and their uncertain fate symbolizes the ambiguities of frontier history. Their story stands out as one of the Old West's most notorious unsolved mysteries. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below.